So welcome to our meditation time. I invite you just to become comfortable. Whatever spot that you have chosen for these moments, just let your body come to stillness. Let your shoulders relax. Let your breath become slow and deep and intentional. If it feels right, you can close your eyes. If that's not available, then just find you a spot where you can focus your gaze. And then give yourself permission that if something starts to feel restless, you allow yourself to adjust. Really easing in to this practice and easing into this next moment as it comes. And so wherever you are, let's join our energy together for just a few breaths of intention, a few breaths of this showing up together, this pause that we've chosen to do. So take a slow, deep breath in, and a full and gentle breath out. And a slow breath in, and a gentle breath out. And one more slow breath in. And on this exhale, allow yourself to settle just a bit more, fully relaxing into the space and fully relaxing into this moment right here. The Yoga Sutra that's grounding us into our practice today comes from the 4th book. And it's about the 12th verse when Patanjali, this wise teacher, decides that it's time for us to think about the past and the future. Which sounds a little counterintuitive because there's so many teachings that have been offered to us over the years that are all about this beautiful present moment of not getting bogged down in the past and certainly not rushing into the future. But what he teaches in this 4th chapter, in this 12th verse, is this idea of how the past and the present and the future become one if we allow them. So no longer do we feel like we're mired down in the past and we're stuck just ruminating and playing these same tapes again and again. And no longer do we feel like we're constantly just worrying and fretting about the future and things that haven't happened. What he says is that if you can just truly begin to be in the present moment, you will begin to allow yourself to use the lessons of the past and integrate them into this moment. Not the negativity, not the lamenting, not the negative self-talk of all the things we should have done better or differently. But rather, he says, all the things that you've experienced, let them come into this present moment. Let them integrate. Because it's those things that offer us the ability to discern in the here and the now. Discernment doesn't just come because we sit and we're still and we're quiet and we're present. True discernment that sustains and that lingers and that supports us comes from us paying attention to what has already happened in the past. Being so aware that we learn how to integrate into this present moment. We don't let it topple down on top of us and cause us to feel heavier, but rather we just stay aware of it. And again, it sounds so counterintuitive because we want to be so present. And we've pushed away the past, many of us, for so long that it feels a little different to think about integrating the past into this moment. And so I would invite us all for just the next few breaths as we just pause here. Think about a lesson that you've learned at any point in your life that you didn't learn as it was happening. But maybe minutes or days or months later, something happened and the light bulb went on and you realized what the lesson was. So just think about that for yourself. When have you learned a lesson, but not in the moment that the lesson was being taught? We've all experienced it probably many times. And it'd be so convenient if we could just learn it all right when it's happening. But this verse, this one Yoga Sutra tells us, don't push the past away. Don't bury it. Don't get bogged down by it. But don't discount it either. Because as long as you're here in this present moment, you're making yourself open to the lessons of those past experiences. From moments ago, from days ago, from months ago. That all of a sudden, in the here and the now, you're clearing your mind, your body is still, and that lesson reveals itself. And you almost have to smile, this knowing smile, as if you were waiting for it to happen. And then he says, but don't discount the future either. Again, don't get so worried and so fearful that all you do is put your energy into the what ifs that haven't even come yet. But just like the past, he says, if you'll integrate the future into the present moment as well, the discernment of these lessons of the past that come to us now will inform how we move later. They'll inform how we move into the future. They'll inform our decision making, how we take care of ourselves, the choices that we make, the places that we go, the ways that we spend our time. And so let's just pause for a second, just kind of let all of that just come together to the here and the now. There's value in the past. There's discernment that's available if we'll just be open to it. And there's value in the future. There's clear decision making ahead of us if we'll just allow it to be. But most of us tend to get stuck in the past, the ruminations, the getting bogged down in the why didn't I and why couldn't I. And then we go to the future and we have the what ifs. But what if we could just integrate it all together here? Now that's a what if to give your thought and energy to. And so let's just let that soak in for just a few breaths here. The past, the present, the future, coming together as one. And then as you recall that lesson that we've all had happen to us that came much later than when the lesson was actually happening, what if you had closed the door on the past? What if you had taped the box shut and said, I am not looking back. I will not think about anything that's already done. You would have missed the lesson, which then gave way to the discernment, which then gives a clear path in the future for your decisions and your next steps. And so maybe today, in this here and now, we can start to think about it a little differently. I think it's interesting that this verse comes way late in the Yoga Sutras. He's already given us 150 plus verses. And now he's telling us, don't forget about the past. Don't discount the future. Let's think about them in the same way that we think about the present moment. And I think that this verse comes so late because all of these other sutras were teaching us the importance of presence before we go back and we reflect on the past and on the future. Each of these teachings is designed to help us ground a little more, understand a bit more clearly, and because it comes in this fourth chapter, almost toward the end, it's as if Patanjali is saying, I think you're ready for this. All these moments of meditation, all this time focusing on your breath, all those practices on your mat, all those moments of quiet, stillness, and reflection. I think you're ready. And so as we pause together, we're going to just let these three parts come together. As we breathe in, we know that is the present moment. That's where the breath happens. And then as we breathe out, we're letting it pass, meaning that it's done. But what I encourage you to do is I'll take you just through a few breaths, that on those next breaths in, even though they are now the new present moment, feel the impact of the first breath, the second breath, the nourishment that they've given you. Don't discount them just because you're breathing in the here and the now. And just kind of watch how the breath is this beautiful example of present, past, future, all together as one. So from wherever you are, seated, lying down, whatever feels good, just take a deep breath in here. Breathing into this present moment. And as you exhale, let it go into the past. Breathing in, present moment. Breathing out, the moment is ending, moving into the past. And as you breathe into this present moment, start to notice the impact of those intentional, slow, gentle breaths. How they anchor you to the here and the now, even though all three parts are happening at once. Continue to breathe, present moment. And then exhale. Release and let it go. One more together. Big breath in. Feel the impact of all those breaths that have already come. And then let this one go. Don't discount the value that it gave, even as you begin to breathe in the next one. And so we'll just pause here in the stillness. This beautiful merging of the past and the discernment that it offers us. The future, or the path for clear decision making and right action, is just waiting for us. And the present moment that brings it all together. Just pause here. See what comes up for you. See what you notice. And if you need it, go right back to that breath and notice that. And as you take that next breath in, just notice how these past moments that we've shared together have impacted you physically, energetically, mentally. And then as you take the next breath in, notice how the breath is nourishing you in the here and the now. And how as you exhale, this moment passes, but the value of the breath does not. The nourishment lingers even as you begin to breathe in again. And so I encourage all of us to practice this idea of integrating the past with the present, with the future, practicing not getting mired down in all the should-haves and why didn't I's of the past. Not getting so caught up in all the things that haven't happened yet in the future, but allowing this present moment to be this beautiful bridge. Staying open to the discernment that comes from the lessons of the things that have already happened and of the beautiful, clear decision-making that it will lead you into for the moments that haven't even come. Just watch and notice in the coming days. Watch how you work with the past. Watch how you think about the future. And watch how you live in the here and the now. All three parts have value. Don't discount them. Learn from them instead. Namaste.